Beak. A beak is the hard, curved part of a bird's mouth.
The bird used her beak to dig a small hole in the ground.
Damp. If something is damp, it is somewhat wet.
My hair is still damp from my shower.
Disapprove. To disapprove of something is to think that it is wrong.
Alex disapproved of his son's behavior.
Except. You use except to talk about the only thing that a statement does not apply to.
Everyone had fun on the trip except Jim, who felt ill the whole time.
Flight. A flight is an act of flying, often in an airplane.
The airplane made a flight around the world.
Fond. When someone is fond of something, they like it.
I am very fond of chocolate cake.
Immoral. When something or someone is immoral, they are evil or do bad things.
Stealing money from one's mother is an immoral act.
Ivy. Ivy is a plant with long vines that grows upward, typically on walls.
The walls of the castle are covered with ivy.
Moan. To moan is to make a low sound when feeling pain or sadness.
The sick man moaned from his bed.
Oblivious. If someone is oblivious of something, they are unaware of it.
I was late to school because I was oblivious of the time.
Perish. To perish means to die, usually because of bad conditions or bad events.
Many people perish in wars.
Pit. A pit is a big hole in the ground.
Michael fell into the pit and needed some help to get out.
Rim. The rim is the outside edge of a round thing, like a cup or bottle.
I put my lips to the rim of the bottle and took a drink.
Roost. A roost is a place where birds can land and rest or sleep.
The family of doves made a roost at the top of the tree.
Slippery. If something is slippery, it is wet or smooth and causes people to slip.
The repairman fell down on the floor because it was too slippery.
Soar. To soar means to fly high in the air.
As the sun rose, 2 eagles soared through the sky.
Trivial. If something is trivial, it is not important or meaningful.
Television is trivial, but learning to read is very important.
Typical. If something is typical, it is normal for a certain type of thing.
Barking is typical behavior for dogs.
Utterly. If something is utterly away, it is completely that way.
When the sun was blocked by the moon, it was utterly dark outside.
Weep. To weep means to cry.
My sister told me the dramatic movie would make me weep. The Tricky Fox. There was a fox that lived in the forest. Fox loved to play mean tricks on the other animals. One day, he used the sharp rim of a bottle to dig a pit in the ground. He hid in a tree until Rabbit came to the pit's edge. Then he jumped out and pushed Rabbit into the pit. Fox laughed and ran away. The angry Rabbit climbed out and told the other animals what happened. The others said, "That is typical behavior for Fox. He does mean things all the time. Sometimes he is completely immoral. We all disapprove of his actions, so we should teach him a lesson. Tomorrow, we'll push Fox into that pit." The next day, all of the animals hid near the pit and waited for Fox. Fox was oblivious to the hidden animals. He walked up to the pit to see if Rabbit was still trapped. Just then, the other animals ran up to Fox and pushed him in. All the animals laughed and cheered, except Fox, of course. Fox couldn't get out. The walls of the pit were covered in damp ivy. It was too slippery for him to climb out. He was utterly helpless. He moaned and began to weep. At last he saw Eagle watching him from her roost. He yelled, "Eagle, please help me! If I don't get out of here, I will perish!" Eagle said, "You may think your tricks are trivial, but you hurt others when you do mean things. I'll help you if you promise to be nice." Fox said, "I promise." Eagle began her flight to the bottom of the pit. She picked up Fox with her beak and soared out of the pit. She dropped Fox safely on the ground. Fox thanked Eagle and kept his promise. He was nice to the other animals. The animals even became fond of Fox, and the forest was a happy place.